I kept meeting my birth mom, but she never knew it was me, and so I did something I can never undo. My mother had me when she was 14. From what I know, she was in a terrible household and had no way of raising me, and so I was given up for adoption. I began to wonder about who my mother was when I was 6, and my foster parents told me about her. I remember being fascinated by how awesome she seemed from their stories, and it's on my 12th birthday that they gave me the letter she wrote for me. The letter was stained with tears, and though in it she said she just couldn't be the mom I deserved, she did say she was open to having contact. And so, I spent my entire teenage life trying to find her. My grades suffered and I had barely any friends, all because my every waking moment was spent looking for her. And then, when I was 22, I found her. I couldn't believe it. She was working at a small restaurant in the same state I lived in. It wasn't even a minute after I had found her, and I was already in the car heading towards her. The first time I ever walked into that restaurant was unforgettable. I immediately recognized her behind the counter, and I had to run to the bathroom to cry my eyes out. I came back out a few minutes later and sat down, and as luck would have it, she was the one to come up and take my order. "I'd like some coffee," were the first words I ever spoke to my mom. I wanted to tell her there and then, but I just couldn't do it. Every time I wanted to, my mouth closed up and my heart would race way too fast. And so I walked out of that diner that day, having eaten pancakes I didn't want, and drank coffee I also didn't want. However, going to this restaurant became a routine thing. Even though it was over 2 hours away from me, I still drove there 3 times every week. I made conversation with my mom every time I saw her, but not once did she realize that every time we talked, my inner child was being healed. She was extremely genuine to talk to, but sadly nothing she ever said even hinted that she knew. And so, after 5 or so months of this, I decided I needed to grow a pair. I actually had to resort to telling my best friend I'll owe him $500 unless I do it to work up the courage. When I arrived to the restaurant that day, it was 3 hours until closing, and the entire time I just waited. I didn't step out of my car once, and when she was finally walking out, I got out and walked towards her. She said hi and smiled, saying she was sorry but they are closed. But I told her that's not why I was here. I told her there was something important she needed to know. I saw a puzzled look wash across her face, especially as I told her sorry for keeping it from her this long. She still didn't understand, and so I pulled out the letter my foster parents gave me. I started opening it up, but I didn't even have to. She just started bawling. Next thing I know, she lunged at me and hugged me so tight, staining my jacket shoulder with snots and tears. She actually pulled away and asked if it was okay to hug me, but instead of responding, I just pulled her into a hug myself. We were just there hugging and crying in the parking lot. When for the first time I spoke the words to her that I was her son, it hit her hard. So hard that her legs gave out and I had to actually hold her up. What really got me was her saying, "Just look how big you got." After we finished embracing, she went back to open the restaurant up, and we had coffee, ate a slice of pie, and talked. And it's while we were talking that she said something that will stick with me forever. She told me that her being in the same state as me was no coincidence. As it turns out, she really wanted to be my mother. So much so she never moved away, all because she knew there was a possibility that one day I might start looking for her. She turned down career opportunities and moving abroad with past boyfriends, all in the hopes that one day she'd be easier to find. I cried so hard when she told me. We ended up exchanging numbers, and after I left, she sent me a text thanking me for giving her this gift that she didn't know would ever come. She's coming over for dinner this Saturday to meet my girlfriend, and I really can't wait.